Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'm going to call the Village New Glarus Board meeting to order. Lynn, would you please do a roll call vote, or roll call, please?
Sure. Michael Bell,
Present.
Mike Anchart,
Yep.
Peggy Cruz,
Yes.
Tammy Newberry,
Here.
Chuck Phillipson,
Here.
Roger Trutman,
Here.
and Lori Wertz.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 2, I'd look for an approval of the agenda.
This is
Again,
Tammy. I'll move to approve the agenda.
You answered Mike, and I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, public appearances and citizens' comments. No debate will occur at the board on items introduced by citizens. Items will not be acted upon at this meeting, but will be referred to the proper staff or committee if action is required. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone on that would like to speak? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to approval of the consent agenda.
You answered Mike here. I just have a question on that, separate from, and that would come under approval of claims. Otherwise, I have no problem.
What's your question?
Well, under the claims, there's a check for Martell water treatment. Joe, I was just wondering what that is.
Or could Lynn answer that? Lynn, can you answer that question? Off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I don't have the printout that has all the detail on it.
I can name the dollar amount if that will help.
Yeah, I see that it's $2,475.25.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking for an account number to know whether it was wastewater treatment plant or the water utility is what I was kind of looking for.
Oh, I see.
I can look that up tomorrow and let you know. I don't know if you want to.
No, Lynn, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. It's not a big deal. I was just kind of curious.
Okay, do you want me to just email you tomorrow?
Yeah, that's fine, Lynn. Thank you.
Okay.
We've dealt with those people before, though, I remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're a regular vendor of ours.
Yeah. I couldn't recall.
They might be the people that we had test the water when we did all the lead samples. That might be where that's coming from. I can't remember either right off the top of my head.
Yeah, Lynn, if you let me know tomorrow, that's fine.
Will do.
Thank you.
Yep.
We didn't have a motion.
So do we still need a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Yes, we do.
So moved.
I'll second that, Lori Wertz.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Item 5, new board business. Item A, consideration, discussion, change of providers from Phone Plus, Sangoma, and Spectrum for village phone and internet services. Drake?
The village currently uses TDS for phone and internet services throughout the village. The monthly charge for their services is between $1,100 and $1,200 per month, depending on the month. Village Hall Internet receives approximately 2 megabits per second internet speeds. This makes many web-based applications difficult to fully utilize, such as GIS, video conferencing, attending webinars, taking advantage of Wi-Fi, and other things of that nature. The village did discuss upgrading internet speeds with TDS, however, they didn't present a cost-effective solution. Under this proposal, a firm called Phones Plus would take over our IP-based phone systems, and Spectrum would provide internet services to Village Hall. This would increase speeds to a minimum of 100 megabits per second. There would be initial upfront costs of approximately $5,200, which would cover installation, new hardware purchases. However, this would reduce our monthly cost to approximately $880 per month. The reduction in monthly costs would cover the initial investment in around 24 months. There would be a 3-year contract with Sangoma, the phone provider. Administration is recommending authorization to change service providers, and the one-time expenses would be covered using the building fund. So they would take over all services within Village Hall. So PD already utilizes Spectrum for their internet services. They required faster speeds for some of the reporting and databases that they access remotely. So this would bring Village Hall over to Spectrum. The library would stay with their current provider that they get through South Central, but they would be switching over their phones to this new system as well. So it's a cost-effective solution to Village Hall to have more robust offerings on phones, as well as faster internet speeds to hopefully allow us to utilize more web-intensive programs.
Gansert, Mike here. I have a question. Did you say that's a 3-year contract, Drake?
Correct. It's a 3-year contract, and we have to maintain a minimum of 3 main lines. So we could remove, if it wasn't working for a certain department, like say the library wasn't happy with it for some reason, or if they moved into a new building, there was a better solution, we could remove those lines and still be within our contract parameters.
Gansert, Mike here. Anytime I can see a 2-year payback period here, I would make the motion to change the providers to Phones Plus and Spectrum for the Village and internet services.
We have a motion.
This is
Do we have
Chuck,
a
I'll second it. Chuck,
Okay, Chuck. Yep, okay, Chuck, thank you. Any further discussion on this item?
I guess I just wanted to double check, Drake. You said you did give TDS the option as a local provider to match that or come up with something better for you when they were unable to. Is that correct?
I didn't give them the option to match it. I had reached out to them before I reached out to anybody else. I reached out to them to see if they could improve our services, and the cost was going to increase per month on top of what we were already paying, and they were only offering to get us up to 25 megabits per second. So it just they weren't competitive after that, and so I moved on to other providers. The option provided didn't seem feasible to continue working through.
Do you have
Okay.
personal experience here with working with Charter by any chance?
Not on the business side, personally, no. But the police department does utilize Charter for internet services now. Bert and Jeff are both on the meeting. They've been happy with their services, and I think they would probably tell you that before they switched, they were almost unable to function with the speeds that they were receiving when they were on the managed IP service that we currently have through our current provider.
We currently run it at the Chalet Lawn House for TV services, and it is the worst company I've ever worked with in my entire life. I will do anything that I can to try and get out of their current contract that we have with them and go towards TDS. It has been a headache to get the services that we require in. And then when we get it, maintaining a consistent value of services that we are paying for has always fallen short. And I personally would not recommend going towards Charter. I can only figure that it's just going to be a headache for you guys. But that's just based off of my personal opinion of what I've dealt with.
Wait, I didn't know the charter was part of this.
Yeah.
Charter and Spectrum are the same company. So essentially our phones would be managed by Phones Plus / Sangoma, and they provide phone services through their voice over IP, and so we have to have Spectrum Internet as well to get services through Phones Plus and Sangoma. So our contract would be with Sangoma for the phones, and then we would have internet service through Charter Spectrum.
I would like to hear Michael Bell elaborate a little bit more on the subject.
So let's see here. It's 2020 here. I believe it was late 2018, early 2019. We upgraded our TV services from just standard Charter system to HD high definition for our 68 rooms. It came out to be a total of like 72 TVs that we needed to update. With their install tech, it's not even their install tech, their install service guys, it was a constant calling them to get everything up and running. They subcontracted out the setback boxes that they needed to install, and it was a cluster. It was never a pleasant experience at all.
But you're talking about
TVs, not internet. That may be different, but based off of what I've seen, what I've followed with Charter, with their merger with Comcast, ever since then their customer service has completely diminished to next to don't care. Currently, behind the Lawn House, there's a tower that all the lines have come off of except for a Charter line, and so in order for us to take down that tower, we would need Charter to come in and get off of that line. Joe has been kind of working with this a little bit too, but it's like pulling teeth to get them to do anything, and then when they get people out there to do something, you have to have them come back out because the tech is poorly trained or they're not doing it right. I'm not saying that once they get it in place and get it going, it could be wonderful and great and happy-go-lucky wonderful. But if you have problems, then that's where you're gonna have issues with getting tech in to fix the issue quickly and effectively.
Oh, Drake, this is Chuck. Do you have any recommendations from anyone regarding this alternative service?
I can only speak. The PD has utilized Spectrum Internet for a few years now, and they haven't had any complaints about it. As far as other businesses that have used it, I have not, spoken to anything about anyone regarding those services. It's standard internet over coaxial cable, which is typically a pretty reliable technology. Bert, Jeff, do you have any?
Yeah, I had
forms with your.
My microphone wasn't working on my computer, so I had to jump over to Jeff's. But we switched from TDS over to Charter probably 4 years ago, and we were having such poor quality with the TDS system that we switched up to Charter. And I can tell you that our records management system runs flawlessly. We have not had any problems with service. And really keep in mind, all Charter's supplying is just a little black box on the wall. Their coax comes into that, the internet comes out of it, and that's all they're really providing for us. We've had 100 meg service for, like I said, the last 3+ years. And we've had nothing but fantastic service. And when we started working with Drake on exploring options for our phone system as part of our remodel, that's where all this kind of came to bat. We realized a cost savings and a upgrade to our phone system, and that's when we met with Drake and brought him on board, and then he looked at it village-wide. But I think the difference between us and the chalet is we only need the black box. The village hall just needs the black box on the wall, and from there our computer people take over, and it's a difference of night and day service that we've had with Charter versus TDS.
And we will still maintain some services through TDS, which can't be serviced by internet-based phone systems. So we have analog phones at the shop, the utility, the wastewater treatment plant, the chalet, museum. So we will still be maintaining a number of services through TDS where there isn't service available to provide phone-based, IP-based phone systems. And so we will still have some services through TDS, but our village hall internet and phones would be the ones switching, which still results in significant savings.
Joe,
does TDS currently have a contract with you other than like what, a yearly contract?
No, we have no contract with TDS.
There's no contract with TDS.
No, it expired a number of years ago. We've long since fulfilled our initial contract with them.
I know the other day during their remodel too, the other thing is that we've had is, number one, the village has been lacking the speeds, and our phone system is currently, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years old. I don't know the exact date, but I do know that when even the technician was in looking at something for us, he even commented on how old and outdated all the TDS equipment was that was supplying the village hall side of it, not the PD, but the village hall side for their services, and it was time to upgrade it, in his words.
So that kind of sounds like something where you could just reach out to TDS and be like, hey, our black boxes are out of date. Can we upgrade that so that we can get more service or better service in here, right?
Yeah, I don't know. In my conversations with TDS, they did not, when given the opportunity, they did not present a solution that was, it was more expensive and it only got to 25 megabits per second. And so, I mean, to the tune of a couple, somewhere between, I can't remember the exact number, but between $1,000 and $2,000 more per year, it would have added to our internet costs. And so after receiving that, that's when I started, and talking with Bert and Jeff, that's when I began exploring alternative options for the service to the village hall.
This is Lori. At our office, we have Charter internet and landlines, and we've not had any trouble, and we've had them for several years. And I can say I have TDS at home, and TDS internet's slower at home than at work.
I got to second that. I got TDS at home and it is slow as molasses, but I'm stuck. I'm rural and I can't improve it. I feel your pain.
Well, yeah, it might just be that it's the TV boxes that we have major issues with because we go through TDS for internet at the chalet. So I don't have experience with internet through Charter other than when I did have personal at home until they ticked me off enough to change over to TDS. So yeah, maybe the internet is just completely fine with Charter, but I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware these are the issues I've had to deal with, and it's been persistent enough with me that I refuse to do any service with that company ever again. Even though I love their high-speed internet, I cannot give my money to them. I cannot do it anymore.
I think the thing to keep in mind is that we're looking at what Drake had brought up is the village is looking at a whole entirely different, a third-party telephone service provider. We're just, in the village, is just looking at using Charter or Spectrum as the gateway to get to the internet. That's all. And that's why I said it's pretty simple. They just provide one black box. It goes in as a black piece of coax and it comes out as an internet IP address. And that's really where the translation takes place. After that, we're looking at the Phones Plus vendor along with the IP phone company that's going to host our services village-wide then for everything. So really, that's all we're buying is from Charter is just that internet connection. And again, we've had it. And again, Mike, I think your thing is you have how many different rooms with TVs and black boxes and all that kind of stuff. And I can see where that would be probably a cumbersome process, but I think just by using them as our gateway to the internet it's been very dependable, reliable, and stable for us for the last few years, and we did not have that experience with TDS.
So Drake, this is Chuck. You, bottom line, we're somewhat dissatisfied with current service, or we feel we could have better service, and you feel we will get better service from the vendor you recommend.
Yes, I think we'll get faster internet, a updated phone system, and a reduction in our monthly costs.
Okay, so do we have a motion?
Mike's motion is still on the table, but it hadn't been seconded.
I thought Chuck seconded that. Am I wrong, Chuck?
I think I did.
Yes.
I have a second by Chuck Phillipson, yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Would you
Hearing none.
would you just repeat the motion just to clarify this for everybody? Lynn?
I have that Mike Anchart move providers to that
Yeah.
Sangoma for phone and Spectrum for internet service.
Okay.
And well, that I assume that implies authorization to spend the one-time funds out of the building funds to execute that contract with them.
Answered Mike here. As far as I'm concerned, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Okay. We had one nay, right?
Correct.
Okay. So it passes 6-1. Correct, Lynn?
That's what I have.
Okay. Okay, we'll need a motion to go into closed session.
Michael Bell, motion to
I'll
go
make a
into a
motion.
closed session.
I'll second.
Okay, we need to roll call that, Lynn?
Yes,
Or
we
not?
do.
Yep.
Yes, we do. Did you want to announce what we're going into closed session for? That probably should be done in open session before we
Okay,
do it.
I will do it. Adjourn into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 1985 1E, deliberating and negotiating the purchase of public properties located at N8221 Valley View Road.
Okay, are we ready for a roll call?
Yep.
Mike Bell,
Yes.
Mike Ganchert,
Yes.
Peggy Cruz, Tammy Newberry,
Yes.
Chuck Phillipson.
Yes.
Chuck, did
Yes.
you say yes?
I said yes.
Got it. Roger Trutman
Yes.
and Lori Wertz.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, do we need a roll call vote on this? I guess we should have a roll call vote on this too, Peggy, or
Yes.
Lynn, please.
I guess we should, excuse me, I guess we should have discussion on this first.
Sure. Go ahead, Chuck. or whoever.
Oh, okay. I'm not entirely satisfied with the situation. I'm curious as to why we made a formal offer to purchase and we did not get a formal counter offer from the seller. It seems like they just left this thing up in the air to toy with us or whatever. I don't know. A formal offer normally requires a formal counter offer. I'm just bringing this up as a point of information. I don't know that we're dealing in good faith in a situation like this. I understand we're screwed and this is probably where we're going to end up. But just for the record, I'm not satisfied with it. So, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say on the matter.
Answer Mike here. I'd just like to add to that, and I think I can get maybe I'm wrong, but I'm reading into Chuck's frustration with this, and quite frankly, I feel it's I'm along with that. I'm a little bit frustrated too with the negotiations, the way they have been going, and I feel just like Mike Bell does, is let's get this thing taken care of. We're only delaying the inevitable, I feel.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Is there any, and Chuck, is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Lynn, would you please do the roll call on this, please?
Sure, I have one question. I had the motion, Drake, was it specific to the wording that you needed or?
No,
Tammy?
it should read as Tammy said it.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
incorporate what needed to be in there?
It's an adequate motion to achieve what we're looking for.
Okay, sorry, I didn't have what you had exactly. I just summarized it. I didn't realize.
and Tammy, your motion was then to authorize up to the $6,000 and signing of the documents.
Correct. Do you not want?
Nope, that's fine.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure I had this exactly how I needed it. I'm ready for the roll call then. Mike Bell,
Yes.
Mike Ganchert,
Yes.
Peggy Cruz,
Yes.
Tammy Newberry,
Yes.
Chuck Phillipson,
No.
Roger Trutman,
Yes.
Lori Wertz.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-1.
Okay, thank you, Lynn.
Yep.
Does anybody have anything else for tonight's meeting?
Hey, Roger, this is Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, when this is for you, Mr. Ganchert, when you asked about that company,
Yes.
that is actually who we buy our Aquamag through for our wells. And we
Oh,
just
okay.
bought 200 gallons, so that's probably what it is.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
I have one more thing, Roger, too, if you've got a
okay.
second. I just wanted to relay a thank you that we received in the mail to the board members. This one is from Carol Thompson. It says, "Thank you for your expressions of gratitude and the chamber bucks. It is truly an honor to work the polls and provide our citizens a positive environment as they vote." From Carol Thompson.
Thank you, Lynn.
Pass that on.
Okay, well, I guess no further business. We are adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep.
Thanks.